There I am, right there, right in front of your face. Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're all well. My name is Tony Darroch and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and here we are in my own studio to maybe inspire you and maybe pick up some of your older products, newer products, paintbrush, pens, anything, and get you into the crafty moment. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button. You get all the notifications telling you when we are live, so you never actually miss out. But if you do miss out because you've got to work, some people still have to work even though the circumstances have changed, the videos never go away, they're always on YouTube. And if you are watching on Facebook, I always post the finished makes afterward, and that puts you in with chance, if you comment, to win one of the makes here in studio. So before we actually went live, I was sat on my chair just watching all the lovely comments, and I could see lots of new names. So welcome Helen, welcome Daisy. There was a few other names, Anne Monroe, yep. Nice to see you all again. So thank you for joining me in the studio. It's lovely to see you all. We have a lovely community here at Stamps by Me. It's absolutely amazing. If I get stuck or I can't answer any questions, then the lovely ladies that have been watching since day dot, for 2 years, a year, are happy to help you. We all help each other out, and that's what it's all about. So don't be scared to ask any questions. I'm here with you to do a little bit of crafting. We are going to use again some of our earlier products, so some of you may already have them and be able to sit back and just enjoy the session. Some of you may be watching with tentative eyes to see what I'm going to bring to you today. I hope you all stay safe. I hope you're all cozy. I don't even know how many studios we've done now. It must be about 10. I don't know, maybe somebody could help me out with that. I think we're on about day 10 of studio every day. If I'm not here, the only reason why I'm not here is because I'm at TV. So a couple of things to tell you all about. As you can see on your screen, you'll be able to see the information at the side of me here. And this is just giving you a little bit of information because I get told what to say, but I always forget. I always say, yeah, I'll remember, and I always forget. So Tim's kindly put the information up here on the side for you so you can see all the information, what's going on with Create and Craft, tomorrow's craft along at 3 o'clock. So tomorrow we will be doing our craft along with the orange paper pad. And I'll just quickly show because there's a lot of faces, and we're going to be using this paper pad and the stamp and die. If you don't have the products, as there's lots of new people, it is very clear that if you want to come to this channel just for inspiration, you can do that. You do not have to have Stamps by Me products. So tomorrow I am doing the craft along at 3 o'clock, and we're doing it with our paper pad and a coordinating stamp and die. If you want to craft along with us or just watch, don't click the end button. You can just watch and take the inspiration away with you, or dig out a pad from somebody else and maybe a stamp and die that you like, and you will be able to craft along. Okay, so we're going to be using the things that you're probably going to need tomorrow for our craft along is some white A4 card and then your basic craft tools. So your scissors, a guillotine, your glue, and things like that. And I'm going to talk you through all the measurements and everything. It's not complicated, guys. We don't do complicated. It will be super easy, and then you can complete it when you've come off air, and then you can post pictures on the Eureka fan page. Don't forget we have our Eureka fan page also. That's where the design team post all the inspiration, and the lovely Karen and Elaine are keeping you all busy with some fantastic mood boards. They're also keeping you busy with some challenges. Tom's also doing his portraits to keep you all busy. So it is a lovely place to get some inspiration, encouragement, and it is just lovely. I don't really know what else to say. It is a lovely place to be, and I love it personally, so I know you guys will love it at home. So let's see if there is anything else to tell you about. I won't be here on Thursday. I'm down at Create and Craft. I have 2 live hours with the lovely paper collection that we're going to do the craft along with tomorrow. And the times for those, if you want to get a pen, because I don't think it's on the schedule yet, is 9:45 and 4:30. That's a nice day for me. I don't have to get up super early and I don't get home at midnight, so it's a nice day for me, is that one. So 9:45 and 4:30. So I'm just looking at your comments now. Oh, some more new ones. Di Nixon, welcome sweetheart to the channel. We've got so many new faces. You all must be doing your job, because every time I stand in studio I say please make sure you share, let everybody know we're here, because people don't even know who Stamps by Me are. And albeit we've been in studio now for 2 years and there's over 350 videos on our channel, people still don't even know we're here. So you must be doing a good job, guys. So nice pat on the back for you all. Hi Dorothy, hi Selma, hi John, Tracy, Liz. Nice to see you all. So let's have a nice hour or so. If you've got a cup of tea, put your feet up and just enjoy the show. In today's show, I'm going to use some of our earlier products. What often happens is I get an email or a list or a Facebook message saying, can you use this, can you use that? And I do try and dissect all the messages. I'm getting a lot of those messages from people as well that are not really relevant to craft at the moment, and I think people are trying to be kind, but trying to filter through all those and then try and find the genuine customers who have queries is really, really difficult. So I am getting through them though. One last thing before we start to craft is if you've emailed us or messaged us about anything, we will get back to you as soon as possible. Basically what's happening is, because obviously everything's on lockdown, we don't have any staff here or anything like that, we are having to do the orders, and I don't just mean the online orders, I mean TV orders as well. And we have thousands and thousands of units for TV now. So you can imagine. So if we are not ignoring you, we will get to them as soon as we get a second. So let's do some lovely crafting then. So in today's studio, I've decided to look at our lamination stamps. Now I know a lot of you have got these, and I know a lot of you have done some fabulous cards. Just to name but one, Susan Breton has made some beautiful cards using these. She's probably had them in a stash since we launched them. And this is basically where Stamps by Me started, with our lamination stamps. So I won't probably say we were the first to do the layering stamps, because it's changed and, you know, craft's grown over the years. But 7 years ago I had this idea that the solid portion would pop your colour down, and then my sketched pencil outline would give you a realistic watercolour finish. So I remember going to TV with our first lamination stamp, and they all sold out, and I cried all the way home because I was just overjoyed by the fact that people actually liked what I'd done. So there are a whole host of new ones coming later this year, maybe August time, but these are still our best sellers to date. So I'm going to be using these two. Don't forget, we will be giving away the stamps that I use in studio, so whoever comments out of you all, we will pick 2 lovely winners, so you'll receive a card from studio as well, and you'll also receive a stamp that I'm using in studio. So I'm just reading the comments again. You think, oh, yeah, we are doing our best, honestly we are. So we'll get everything out to you as quick as possible. So what I'm going to do first off is, I'm just going to set these ones aside. I have popped these, so if you are wanting to buy any of our products, all you have to do, as I say every time we have studio, is you need to just go to our website, in the search engine pop FBL Facebook Live into the search engine, and all the products that I've used over the course of the last 10 days probably is there for you, and it just saves you looking around the website. If you don't want the products, please don't switch off, because I would hate for that to happen. But if you've got alternatives in your stash and your budget doesn't stretch to getting more products, we've got loads in our stash, haven't we, stamps and dies. So go dig out something that you might already have. So first of all, I'm going to use this lovely one. So they're an A5 stamp set, and when you look at them, this part here is your solid portion, this is black, and this is where you pop the colour, okay? And then you pop your outline on in maybe the heat embossing, the lovely outline here on in heat embossing, black pen, black ink, coloured inks. They look stunning, and they give you a true watercolour finish. It looks like you've actually painted them. So let's just do a simple card showing you how lamination stamps actually work, and then I'll show you on my second demo how to stretch them a little bit further and encourage you to colour yourself. So let's just go with this first. So I've just cut a piece of this lovely like wood grain out of my orange paper pad, and it is sometimes really good to stamp onto patterned paper. We all stamp onto watercolour card, black card, white card. So sometimes it is good to stamp onto that lovely patterned paper too. So give it a try. Like I say, it is a piece of paper or card. If you don't like it, you can always pop it in the bin and do it again. So I'm just going to pop this inside the Eureka. So I'm just reading the comments again. Hi Daisy, oh, your 8-year-old daughter, crafting with your 8-year-old daughter, that's fabulous. That's so encouraging, isn't it, to see the little ones now getting involved. So I'm going to take the solid portion first off and I'm just going to lay it on my card here. So it depends on where you want your image to be. I don't like my things centralised. I always like mine off a little bit. So I'm just going to do it off to the left just a little bit here. I'm going to hold it in place with my magnet. And for this first demo, I'll use my lovely little distress inks I've got here. So I've picked some quite vibrant tulipy colours. So I've got a red and an orange for the head of the flowers, and I've got some green for the solid part of the green on there. So I'll just pop these down the side here. And then for our next demo, I'm going to use my lovely new watercolour pens. So first off, I'm going to concentrate on the two flower heads here. So I'm just going to take the ink right to the stamp, and I'm just going to pop it down one side just to create a little bit of colour in my flowers, so it's not all block and one colour. So a bit of red down that side. This ink pad looks like it's got something on it, I'm not sure about that. And then we use the orange down the other side, and then down the other side here. So basically you're just getting that initial colour down, like so. And then we're going to do the lovely green. So if you want to know which colours I'm using, guys, I've just used for the flower heads carved pumpkin and candied apple for the heads. So, but if you haven't got these, get an orange and red from whatever you've got in your stash. And then I'm using twisted citron and lucky clover. So I'm going to put this nice juicy limey greeny colour on here. And we'll swap it for our darker one, and we'll just add a cast of shadow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of water, and what that's going to do is when I come to stamp it out, it'll give me a realistic watercolour finish. So not too much, but enough to get the colour activated. So let's pop this down, and then when you press down you'll get a beautiful bleed. Now if you put loads of water on, there's a lot of water on there, you might end up with a puddle, but continue with your card until the very end, because sometimes the more water you use, the more realistic it looks. See that there? So already we've got our watercolour coming together. Now I'm just going to take my little tissue here and just try and mop up that little puddle. There we go. Like so. So let me just clean off the stamp. Now I absolutely love the heads of the flowers, but I think the green could do with a little bit more work. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back onto my stamp and get some more green on there. Just tidy it up a little bit. I forgot to stamp it, I forgot to spray it, didn't I? Let's do it one more time. That's because I was trying to read the comments and be smart pants by doing two things at once, but it doesn't work for me, unfortunately. So let's just hydrate that green a little bit. There we go, I'm quite happy with that one now. You see how we've got this like red here in this stem? Do you know what? True watercolourists let their artwork bleed one colour into another one. So don't clean it off. Don't think, oh, it's all not in the right place. Don't clean it off, because when you come to put your outline on, it looks absolutely beautiful. So don't forget, I am going to give these stamps away to anyone who pick out of the Lucky Cup 2 winners from today's live. So let's just dry that off. It looks really lovely on that patterned paper background, I think. Really stands out. And it's funny because when I read your comments, when people say, yes, you know, thanks so much for doing this for us. Really, I'm doing it, you guys I do it for you guys, but what you give back to me is the reason why I do it. You're grateful, which makes me happy. I love to craft. I'm not doing it because I have to do it. I'm doing it because I thoroughly enjoy it, and I love to see everybody talking amongst themselves, and you know, this is what crafting's all about, so it makes me happy too. Yeah, you've probably missed this stamp. This stamp is 7 years old. I'm not scared to say it. We still have them made. They are still on our shelves. They still go back to TV, and when we launch our next range in the summer months, these will be back on the show for anybody that missed them. So October time or whenever it's going to be, we always bring back these ones because people just have never seen them. And it's true what they say, isn't it? You know, there are new crafters every single day. So what I've done with my second portion is I've just laid it in place, and what you'll see is the colour portion does not line up with the outline, and that's because it's a painted image, you know, so it does not line up. Do not be spending ages thinking, well, the heads are lined up, but what's going on with the green? It's not meant to be lined up, and you'll see why. When I come to stamp it out, it literally looks like a watercolour sketch, and that's why people always say, did you paint that? Because people are not sure what's going on. They are different. They are really, really beautiful. So let's use a black ink on this one. I'm just going to ink it up. Oh, really, Gillian? So Gillian's saying that the lamination stamps were what drew her to Stamps by Me initially. We don't do enough, unfortunately. I'm not scared to say it. I have got lots of watercoloured images that I've done on holiday, sketching whilst we've been out at the caravan and things like that. It's just a case of getting them into production so you guys can enjoy them. But there are some more coming. So you can see here, look, I've just popped this black on here. And there we go. You've got like a beautiful, it just looks like you've watercoloured it. I'll just lift it up a little. I'll just put it to the camera at the front, then you can see. If you did that onto, there we go. If you did that onto a old book page, you know, the old book pages of that, I've got that lovely yellow tinge, all in different colours on different pages. It would look beautiful, wouldn't it? Oh, thank you guys. So let's pop this back in here now. And let's use the lovely sentiment that comes within it. So you get the lovely word hooray, which is a lovely uplifting sentiment. And what I always do is I always put my sentiments through my artwork so it's connected. So I'm just going to do it a little bit into this here. Don't want it to get lost though, so just be mindful with the sketchiness in the centre of the, sorry, on the leaf area. Let's go there. They look fabulous with the coloured part and then the second part done in heat embossing, gold. Or silver, whatever you like. Or white even, look beautiful in white. Can we see that? It actually looks like, you know, you've drawn the sketch and then you've actually gone straight into hooray there with your pen, doesn't it? That's cool. I like that one. I hope you do. So I'll just get rid of this one on here. Be beautiful in a frame. It would, Margaret. We have actually got some in frames inside the shop. I should have grabbed them. But yeah, in like a shadow box frame on a big piece, they do look beautiful. So to bring this to life and make it just a little bit more arty and realistic that we've actually painted it, I'm going to give it some splats. So I'll just bring my Eureka back in for the palette. So I'm just going to pop some of this ink onto my lid. So we'll go with the red, and I think the green will look quite good too. Just give this a good old mix up here, and then canvas, just bring it to life by adding those splats. not all over. So we'll do a little bit of the red, and we'll pick up some of this lovely green, which you can't really see. Oh, we can. There we go. And it just ties the image together. It doesn't look like it's floating. So just dry that off. So let's have a look, see if there's any lovely comments. This is, oh, the splats. Why don't you just get a piece of white cardstock? Then you know you're not going to ruin any work that you've done, and just practice flicking onto some white cardstock. That's probably the best thing to do to start with. And then when you're confident you've been practicing enough on white, then have the courage to do it on your artwork. So I think that's nice and dry now. So let's get this onto a lovely card. So I'm going to mat it first onto some craft, just to mount it. We have a whole host of lamination stamps, so albeit they're not, I haven't popped them in the FBL section, I've only popped in the ones that I'm using today, but if you go to craft stamps on our website, you'll be able to go and see all the different ones that we've got on there. I think I've done about a range of about 20 so far. So I've mounted it onto that craft and it's sort of lifted it a little bit, hasn't it? If you had a script stamp, you could maybe pop a little bit of script around just to distress it a little bit if you wanted to. But for today, I just really wanted to show you the idea of how lamination comes together. And I can't remember the lady's name who asked me to do it. So if the lady is watching, it's a good thing that the videos don't go away, isn't it? And so you could pop some sparkles around if you wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it as is because I think it looks more arty when the less that you pop on there. Just letting you know, we have in this stamp set here, I don't know if you can see this here, hooray, hooray, it's your birthday. So you don't have to just leave hooray, you can put it's your birthday underneath. It sort of finishes it if you want to, but I always just like to use the word hooray. So that's card number 1. I'm glad you like, oh, they're liking that one. Better than yesterday's disaster, hey. You can't win them all, can't win them all. So let's move on to demonstration number 2. And for that one, we're going to use this lovely stamp. Now I'm just going to show you an alternative way to use our lovely lamination stamp. So the one that I've just shown you is the easiest way, okay? But if you want to maybe enhance your work a little bit and maybe make it look even more like a hand-painted image, then you can try this technique. It's really difficult to do our lamination stamps as well because traditionally it's a sketch and then I watercolour it and then the two parts need separating, and it has to work as a stamp, and it's really difficult to visualise it as a stamp when you're actually colouring it yourself. So that's why it probably take a little bit longer than any of our other collections, but we know how much you love them, so we do continue with them. I absolutely adore them. So right, so for this one I'm just going to pop the solid part here. Now I am using watercolour card because I really do want this to look like a watercoloured image. Just popping it straight as I can there, and I'm going to hold it in place with my magnet. and I'm going to just use a really light, I'm using brown suede for my Generation inks. I need a really light ink pad here to create a silhouette on here, so you need to grab something like a soft pink that's going to be hidden when we come to paint it. And I'm just going to ink up the stamp all over. I'm just going to do it one more time, just so I can see it when I come to paint it. So there we have, and you can see it beautifully there, like a silhouette of my watercolour. So I'm just going to sit down, if that's okay, whilst I show you how to paint this one. So I'll just get rid of that stamp. So I'm just going to sit down. Ooh. I feel like I'm getting really old. It's because I've been stood up packing all day. The old back's not liking it at the moment. So I'm going to use my lovely new watercolour pens, and I'm using the set of 6, and it's the floral ones. And the reason why I'm using this one is because I did feel like if anybody wanted to do the demo, you don't have to buy the big set to create flowers and things like that. You can get this smaller set, and you've got enough in there, i.e. corals, pinks, greens and yellows and purples to paint an image. Okay, so there we go, you can see all those. A lot of those colours are in my top, aren't they? So first of all, I'm going to pick the flower of the colour of the flower. So should we go yellow or right? If you are watching, I know you're all commenting, shall we go yellow or shall we go pink? First few to come through, and I will choose the colour of the flower. Pink or yellow? Pink. Pink, right, pink it is. Well done, Anne. Oh, pink, pink, pink. Right, we'll go pink, we'll go pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scratch some of this pen onto the top of my Eureka. That squeaking is actually on the top of my Eureka and nothing else. So to make this look like a lovely watercoloured image, now if you don't have the pens, you can use these. Your distress inks. If you don't have the distress inks, you can use the Generation inks. You just use what you've got in your stash. You will have something that's going to work. So first of all, I'm just going to, so I can see the petals here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover all of this petal here in water. Okay, all over. And this is called a wet in wet technique, and it's a fabulous technique that gives you instant light and shade. And I can look from the side, if you tilt your head and look from the side, it's shiny. So I know I've got plenty of water laid down there. I'm going to pick up some of the lovely pink from our pens, and I'm just going to drop it into this water. You see that there? So the colour will only go where your water goes. Okay, so if you've only laid water on that petal, the colour will only go where the water is. It's sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It encapsulates it within. Okay, so let's get that colour down. Oh, try not to go out. Well, if you do go outside the line, it doesn't really matter because it is a watercoloured image. So there's petal number 1. You can see I've left a little area where it looks a little bit like what's going on there. So it gives me instant light and shade. So let's do this large one here. So cover the whole petal. With water, and I get my pen. I'm just gonna, in fact, let's just do it. Let's do it in a pink. I'm also in the set as well, there's a darker colour. I'm going to use that as well, just to give my petals some dimension. So let's just lay this pink on here while it's wet. So I'll just drop that pink into that water all the way around. like so. Just let it do its thing. Don't, you know, don't try and move it around. It's very precious, is watercolour in it. You don't want to go where you want it to go, so you need to just let loose and let it do its thing. So out of the same pen set, I'm using the darker colour this time. I'm just trying to get a little bit of dimension or a little bit of shading to the base of this petal here. And I'm going to do the same here. And I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm not going to overwork it. So let's move on to this one here. So cover the whole thing. Get some more colour. Now, if you did get your re-inkers for your pens, you can use your re-inkers. Just pop a little bit in your well, paint with those. So I'm laying that initial colour down, that lovely pink. And I'll pick up some of that dark and just pop it in the centre. So we get a little bit of dimension. And then next one. So always lay some colour down, always lay some water down first. And this will let your colours flow when you come to pop them on top. Now get some of that dark, pop some dark. So our flower is going to be naturally darker from the centre working out on this one. So you can already see, it's not until you put the sketchy outline on it actually comes together. But you know, I always think that just using the watercolour without an outline, it just looks beautiful. It really does look like you've painted it. So with or without the outline, it does look like you've painted it. And the technique that I'm doing here, you could absolutely do with the tulip too. Let's pick up some of this darker colour. So there we go, can you see? And it always dries two shades lighter, I think they suggest. So don't be scared to pop the colour down. So I'm laying that clean, clear water down and always just do one petal at a time. And last time I told you, when we were in studio last time, if you remember, I said that in studio, not only do you get the capability to go back and watch the video time and time again, we were also doing written instructions for all of our videos. So, and we have been doing them for the time that we've been doing the videos here with you. So they will be available and they will be in a section on our website. So should you want to go and download them and save them, because I know people do like to do that, you can download them, pop them in a little ring binder if you want to, and then every time you're looking for some inspiration or some help or something different to do, you can go to your lovely little ring binder or YouTube and find some inspiration using the products we've used here in show. So I've nearly done here. Sharon, I'm using the Carter watercolour card and I'm using the smooth side, but if you do want a real watercolour finish and it actually looks a bit texturised, then just turn the card over, sweetheart, and use the texturised side. So one more petal. You won't have to take notes anymore, bless you. No, you won't. So as soon as that goes live, I'll let you all know. So I'll just get this last bit on this dark here. So if you see how if you use a light ink pad it sort of disappears, so the lighter the ink pad, so you can visually see, go as light as you possibly can. So that's all the pink part. I'm absolutely happy with that one. And you could go on and drop some orange in there. There is so much you could do with it. Spend hours just working on that, me personally. I do like to play with colour. So I'm using the green here. And again, I'm just going to ink up the portions of the stems. I'm just going to pick up some green. I'm not sure how dark this one is, so I'm just, there we go. Not going to go too dark. So we can see how it's coming together, and don't be afraid to connect the colours or make them go a little bit further. Helps if you lay your water down first. Don't be scared to experiment with them, you know, with the colour and add in more detail. Don't be scared to do it. So the water down and a tiny bit of colour in there. So let's just add some splashes, some very light splashes, whilst we've got it out. Like so. I'm just going to stand up. I'm just going to add some red splashes too. And then I'm going to dry that one off. So that in itself looks like you've painted it. You would never know you've used a stamp to create that, never. Which is great, isn't it? Oh, it's lovely to see you've ordered the pens. Try and use them for more than just your colouring though, guys. Get them used for all your techniques and things like that, and your salt techniques. There's just so much you can do with them. Like so. How are we doing for time? Are we okay? We okay? Yep. Okay. So let's pop this back into our Eureka and let's get it completed and bring it to life. So in the same set you get the lovely outline, and it's a sketchy outline like on the tulip. So when you pop it on, and this is where you're thinking, oh my goodness, that looks amazing, because you can see where I've drawn the petal there. The colour is just like, I've just gone in with my brush and not completed it, so it really does look amazing. So just line it up where you think it might go, you know, just go with, see what happens. So for this one maybe you could go softer and do a grey outline. I will do grey first, let's see how it looks. I won't move my stamp, and then if it's not bright enough or it doesn't stand out enough for camera, I'll go over it in black so you can see. It's just that sometimes the grey ink pad makes it look like a pencil sketch. So if you are really wanting to go to town and make it look like you have done it yourself, then. Can we see that there? Does that look a bit pencilified? Can we see it? Shall I do it in black? I'll do it in black so you can see. You can experiment with the colour at home. You could actually stamp the outline in a pink as well if you wanted to bring it all together. There we go, can we see that there? How gorgeous is that? So then I'm just going to sit down. Now if you are what's the word, OCD crafting or things like that, and you're colouring, if it's not within the lines, do not buy these stamps, because they are not for, I would hate for you to waste your money if you like things precise and perfect. Watercolouring is nothing, never precise ever. So please don't think that by trying them they're going to line up or they're going to be perfect, because they're not. They basically give you that arty finish and make it look like a bit of an arty card rather than a traditional handmade stamped card. So let's see what sentiments are in here. So whatever makes you different makes you beautiful. Remember, there's someone who thinks of you often and smiles. Let's do that one. So this one's called Just to Say. This is in the Facebook Live, so if you pop FBL in the search engine, excuse the head, in the search engine on our website, it'll bring up all the products I've used today, sweetheart. The item code is 408983 if you are wanting to do a quick search on this one. Yeah, the postal service is taking a little bit longer than normal, but they are still running, which is fabulous. There we go. I'll just stand back up. So I will be giving these lovely cards away. I'm happy to send these ones. I wasn't happy sending both yesterday, but today I'm okay with them both. So because I'm using a thicker card, I am going to use the wet glue. And don't forget to comment on Facebook and let me know which card you've liked the best. If you have got the products, what Elaine's doing now is on Saturdays, she's now posting some inspiration using some of our earlier products. So I think that's every Saturday, so that will be able to encourage you to go dig through your stash and find what you've got of your Stamps by Me products and get them back out again. Because as soon as somebody gets it out and does something with it, that's where you go to look, isn't it? You start, oh, I've got that stamp. I haven't done anything with it for ages, so Elaine's going to be in charge of sorting that out for you all. And I think the lovely new mood board has gone on too. So basically all for that one is you need to do is something in keeping with the colours of the mood board, and it can be anything, a card, a hat and some knitting, it can be absolutely anything. So on this one I am going to pop some sparkles around this one because it's not on any patterned paper, and I think we will get away with it. Let's see what I've got in my stash. Yeah, we'll go this one. So these have just, what is there? So I'll pop two big ones, but as you know, we should really work in threes. It's a little bit easier on the eye. Well, there we go. Look, there's a little pearl on, a little white one on there, so I'm going to pop that one on too. It's not going to stick though. Never mind. You get the idea. I will post pictures after the show, and you can let me know which ones you really, really like. Let's just set this aside. Both good, can't choose. Thank you, Jeannie, that's very kind. So there we go, we've got two lovely cards. Two probably different styles, but they do look like watercolour images, don't they? So, you know, it's time to get out your inks and try the lovely techniques. This one would have looked equally as beautiful on the watercolour card, and this one would have looked equally as beautiful on your grey wood grain backing papers, maybe a delicate floral pattern just to enhance. So super, super cool, super different, and you know, it'll keep you out of bother if you're playing, that's all I'm saying. So, oh, thank you everyone, Gillian, May, Christine, Denise, Leslie, Margaret. So, do we have two lovely winners out of the Cup of Chance? Oh, we're just sorting it out for you. So don't forget, tomorrow craft along 3 p.m. with me with the yellow paper pad. If you want to get a yellow, if you want to get any of your papers out to craft along with me, you can do that, and I'm not going to do any of the work ahead of time. I'm going to do it all live on air, and then at the end of the show you can take it away and embellish it and make it your own unique project. And then on Thursday, 2 hours live on Create and Craft with the yellow pad, and I have got hundreds of samples from the design team. They absolutely loved this paper pad, so I'll do a right big set over on Create and Craft and show you all the wonderful makes that they've been doing. Oh, we've sorted it. So we have two lovely winners. So we have Jacket Cartledge. Well done, sweetheart, you've just won yourself a card and a stamp from the live show. And we've also got Jan on the phone. Have I said that right, Jan? So Jan also as well, if you could either send me your address on info@stampsbyme or on our Facebook page, you can personal message me your address and we'll get these sent over to you. Well done, girls. Thank you everybody for tuning in. It was lovely to see you all. I hope the studio is keeping you going. It's certainly keeping me going. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 3 p.m. for a craft along. Take care everyone. Bye.